All right, folks, we've got a second timer in the building. Mr. Scott was already putting one woman on blast, and now he's back with a whole new drama queen. Meet Ms. Kalan. She's laid back, but trust. She's got a wild story about disappearing acts and online love gone wrong. Get ready for a paternity twist that's about to flip the script like it's the season finale of a crazy reality show.
Mr. Scott, welcome back.
How you doing?
Now, you previously appeared in this court, and it was determined that you now have 7 children by 4 women.
Yes, Your Honor.
This isn't your typical online romance, people. It's like a disaster date from hell. They slid into each other's DMs, chatted for a few weeks, and things got way too comfortable. But hold up, this ain't the cute rom-com you're thinking of. It's full of phone spying, trust issues, and drama that could make a soap opera blush.
Met online. We chatted for about 3 weeks. I'll say 3 weeks to a month, something like that, you know. So she came to visit me, came to my city, she came to visit me. You know, we hung out, we spent time, we had a nice time that night. No big deal, you know. It was nice, it was nice.
Ms. Kalan isn't holding anything back now. She's spilling all the secrets, including how Mr. Scott ghosted her, and she's got a hunch it's because of another woman. The drama kicks off as they go back and forth, accusing each other left and right, and the courtroom turns into a battlefield of hurt feelings and online detective work. Was it real love or just another online scam?
So I went through her phone, and prior to us being together, conversating and conversing, I see that she had other text messages from other men.
But you weren't in a committed relationship, right?
Yeah.
No, not at that time. No,
Oh snap, things just took a wild turn. Baby daddy's ready to drop the truth bombs, but mommy's not having it. She's calling him out as a big fat liar, and the courtroom is on fire with jaw-dropping secrets, shady motel rendezvous, and intimate details that lead straight to a shocking pregnancy.
He is a lie. I think he believes his own lie. For real. I mean, this is like crazy. I don't know where.
How did it go down for you?
Okay, so I met him on the internet site, a dating site.
These two are so off track, they can't even pick up the phone when the other calls. It's like they're stuck in a never-ending drama loop of missed calls and unspoken words. It's a tangled mess of lies, deception, and the million-dollar question who's playing who in this twisted game.
That person as well as
this person and that person.
Yes.
Girls, only 2 girls. Don't be adding other people.
That's crazy.
Don't add other people.
I mean, you got,
and you're telling me that you're the person with the trust issues.
And here's Mr. Scott playing the "I'm so much smarter than you" card, all thanks to some sketchy pics he found on mommy's phone. Those photos hit him like a ton of bricks, and now he's questioning every single thing about this relationship. Trust? Yeah, that's out the window now.
Pictures of other men's male parts, okay?
For real?
Pictures of other male parts, and it was another. She was like, "Well, I'm finna go to Lancaster to visit a friend, a family
member." And she did it like that?
No, the guy responds like, the guy says, "Well,
my kids play with my phone, Your Honor. There was nothing like that in my phone."
But wait, mommy's got her own bombshell. She's straight up saying she never even loved him. But here's the thing, they did share a few things that connected them, so it wasn't all bad. Still, their relationship was a total roller coaster, filled with commitment issues and no trust to be found anywhere.
On the internet site that I met him on, he wanted basically the same things I was looking for, you know? He was family, he said he was family oriented.
Of course I am, I take care of all my kids, but
when Mr. Scott heard about the pregnancy, he was all smiles, dreaming of a happy family, but once that baby hit the scene, yeah, everything fell apart. What was supposed to be a fairy tale quickly turned into a dumpster fire.
Said, quote unquote, "Oh, Mommy, we're gonna be a family." See, yeah, that was the nickname.
And did you want to be a family with him?
I mean, it was what it was. I wasn't sure if that's what I wanted. He wanted me to move.
Wait, you said it was what it was.
And now, Ms. Kalan is hitting back with a countersuit for child support and loan repayments. Mr. Scott doesn't even think he's in debt, but trust, that's not what the court's saying. The courtroom's buzzing with tension, and these two are only good at one thing, bickering.
Altogether, maybe $400 or $500.
Okay. The money she sent you, was it a loan?
No,
Yes,
it wasn't no loan. Why'd I get a loan from her? I mean, I worked.
You act like I'm speaking blasphemy. I just asked.
The judge knows it's about to get messy and wraps things up fast. With all the back and forth going on, it's time for the big reveal. Let's see who's got the facts and who's just playing games.
Mr. Scott, you are not the father.
Imagine bringing 3 of your exes to court. Wild, right? Well, that's exactly what went down in Holman vs. Drum Gold. Ms. Holman had 3 dudes in the hot seat, all of them trying to figure out who might be the father of her baby. And to make it even crazier, she wasn't dating any of them, and none of these guys were feeling each other at all. Court was about to get super messy.
Mr. Rich,
Go back up.
you came here to get an answer. I
have not called him lately.
I don't care, man.
I mean, hey,
my
phone tells it all.
Calm down.
Your Honor,
Calm
that
down.
was a nice speech. That was a nice speech, but that's all it was, a speech.
Sloppy,
If Leanne could have had it her way and now one of us know, we wouldn't be here today.
This court session, straight up chaos. The battle for paternity was on, and Ms. Holman was having a hard time keeping it together. She was visibly losing it, and honestly, who could blame her? Mr. Rich took the stand and, while clearly hoping to be the father, didn't hide his frustration. He was seriously heated, and it was clear he wasn't afraid to show it.
That's okay.
Truth coming out.
I'm not
listen.
I'm not a bad person. I do bad things.
Look at
There's
me.
a difference.
Look at me. You've admitted to where you've gone wrong, and you've also allowed us to see a little piece of what your real heart is. You think we don't know you are confused and just out there?
Now it gets real messy. Ms. Holman couldn't even remember when she hooked up with Mr. Rich, so Mr. Drumgold decided to drop another bombshell. Another guy, Mr. Matthews, was also in the mix. Ms. Holman tries to clear things up, saying Drumgold knew about her thing with Rich, but had no clue about Matthews. Looks like Ms. Holman was keeping her options wide open. But Mr. Drumgold, not feeling the competition.
And in that testimony, she said you are a great man, and she's never known a man as good as you. So much so that she didn't think she was good enough for you. That's the part. Just stick with us, okay? We're gonna get through this.
Here comes Mr. Matthews, and things go left real quick. Mr. Rich loses his cool and starts throwing out some seriously spicy words as soon as Matthews walks in. The whole courtroom erupts with drama, and Mr. Rich can't hold back. He ends up getting kicked out, and it's all too real for everyone involved. Mr. Rich storms off, and things just get even more intense.
Hear from him. Jerome, will you please escort Mr. Matthews into the courtroom?
You a
Calm down. Mr. Rich, calm down. Calm down. Just take a
It
deep
is what
breath.
it is,
Listen, you want the truth? That's what I'm trying to get you, but you gotta let me get it. You want to know? I'm giving you the truth.
Mr. Matthews isn't totally ruling out being the baby's father, but Mr. Drumgold is not here for it. He's not trying to get caught in a love triangle, and his pride's taking a hit. He's starting to question his place in Ms. Holman's life, and Ms. Holman tries to set the record straight. But it's clear that Drumgold's struggling with his position in the drama.
I'd like to ask you a few questions concerning the nature of your relationship with Ms. Holman. Can you tell the court, how did you meet? How long have you been in a relationship?
Well, I met Mrs. Holman probably about 4 years ago. I met her through Facebook, and we hung out and we clicked. And then there on 4, we had sexual relationships.
Ms. Holman hits her breaking point and lets loose on Mr. Drumgold. She's had enough of his judgmental tone, and the shouting match is on. She's not here for anyone's disrespect. And if there's one thing louder than her confidence, it's her voice. The courtroom buzzing with her fire, and no one can ignore it.
Now, granted, have I been with all 3 of these men? Yes. How do you know there's only these 3 men? Because I gave them these 3 men. No. Name. This is my truth. Here it is. It's ugly. Now I'm trying to get to the bottom of it.
Exactly.
Your Honor.
Exactly.
The drama's hitting its peak, and Judge Lauren steps in to check Mr. Drumgold, telling him to get over his delusional ideas about being the only possible dad. Ms. Holman finally drops the bomb on her conception timeline, saying she's convinced Mr. Drumgold's her baby's father out of the 3 guys in the courtroom. This revelation gets everyone even more hyped, and the courtroom is full of chaos as they argue and yell.
My thing is,
Go ahead.
don't
Can we
keep
go with the
saying
result?
there's no
Can we go
possibility
with
that it couldn't be mine. That's my
Mr.
thing.
Drumgold, Mr. Drumgold,
Yes.
I think you have now entered that space where you're so angry because you feel like because she's saying she really believes it's your baby.
Is Judge Lauren the coolest or what? Amid all the yelling, she's keeping it calm and comforting Ms. Holman. The constant drama has her in tears, and it's clear the situation is taking its toll. The judge wraps things up and gets ready for the big reveal. Only one man can claim the title of Father of the Day. After all that drama, the court suggests they all seek counseling, because this one's way too messy.
Mr. Rich is not the father. The next result is for Mr. Matthews. Mr. Matthews, you are not the father. These results are for Mr. Drumgold. Mr. Drumgold, you are the father.
Exactly.
Ever find yourself caught up in a love triangle? Well, Ms. Harris didn't just get caught up in one. She was in the middle of a full-blown showdown between her boyfriend, Mr. Murray, and her ex, Mr. Donaldson. This courtroom was about to witness some serious drama, and the judge was definitely in for a wild ride. Buckle up.
Ms. Harris, you have been caught in a love triangle. There are 2 men in court today claiming to have fathered your 18-month-old daughter, Anaya. Your current boyfriend, the plaintiff, Mr. Murray, Murray, and the defendant, your ex-boyfriend, Mr. Donaldson.
You know, love triangles in court never go quietly. They're always high stakes and full of tension, and this one was no exception. Mr. Donaldson, while Ms. Harris was very pregnant, dropped the bombshell that he had his eyes on another woman, and he made it clear he wasn't going to be there for her when it mattered the most. That's gotta sting, right?
They are both in court today to prove paternity. So, Ms. Harris, please come join me here so we can start this case and get some paternity answers. So, Ms. Harris, now you're currently in a relationship with Mr. Murray.
Yes.
But both Mr. Murray and Mr. Donaldson think they are your 18-month-old daughter Anaya's biological father.
Things got even spicier when Mr. Murray's mom stepped up to the stand. She revealed some shocking details that no one was expecting. Apparently, they had all assumed Mr. Donaldson was the father until, plot twist, another man appeared and everything got super awkward. Talk about a game changer.
Let's talk about these relationships. Tell me about your relationship with Mr. Donald.
From my understanding, we was dating. But then when I got pregnant, he told me he had feelings for another girl, and he told me that he didn't want to be with me. So I was basically alone during my pregnancy.
But wait, the plot thickens. An unexpected visit from one of Mr. Murray's family members revealed yet another man in Ms. Harris's life. To make things even more insane, Mr. Murray got a mysterious message from someone who could very well be Mr. Donaldson, claiming the baby could be his. Cue the chaos.
When I had her.
So wait, you're dating Mr. Donaldson, you're in a relationship. You all are boyfriend and girlfriend?
Yeah, we were.
And so you're boyfriend and girlfriend, and you find out you're pregnant while you're in the relationship with him?
Yes.
And you tell him you're pregnant,
Yeah.
and he accepts that you're pregnant and it's my baby.
Well, he didn't believe I was pregnant.
But hold up, the drama doesn't stop there. As the courtroom tried to catch its breath, Mr. Murray was fuming and making it clear he wasn't ready to back down. But guess what? Mr. Donaldson wasn't backing down either, and the two men started clashing more than ever. The courtroom was on edge, everyone waiting for the truth to finally surface.
By that time, it was too late. She was like big. I hadn't seen her in so long. It wasn't even no point in getting a pregnancy test.
Oh, because you could tell then she is pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay, and did you accept at that time that you were the father of the baby?
Yes, I did.
You did. You acknowledged it and you accepted it.
Yes, I did.
Now, in the middle of all this, Ms. Harris was emotionally wrecked, unable to deal with all the back and forth between the men in her life. It was clear this wasn't just about paternity, it was about trust, betrayal, and the messy reality of navigating relationships. The tension was practically palpable.
So I want to ask your mom, did you know about this pregnancy, ma'am?
I did not find out about it until she was about 5 months, maybe.
You never knew your son was possibly the father of this child?
When he told me about it, I accepted that he was, because that's what Chastity stated, that he was the dad.
To make things even crazier, Mr. Murray's mom spoke up again. She had been staying calm up until now, but now she was ready to spill the tea and reveal even more surprising facts. Everyone in the courtroom could feel the shift in the air. More details kept pouring in, and things just got more tangled. What started as a simple paternity case had spiraled into something much bigger.
I didn't even tell her, honestly. I told my father, and my father told her.
That works too when you're scared to tell mom. So you tell your dad tells your mom, and mom, at what point do you actually meet Miss Harris? Because you don't even know her at this point.
I had met her one time.
Then, just when things seemed to reach their boiling point, Mr. Donaldson tried to wiggle his way out of answering some key questions, pretending he couldn't remember crucial details. But everyone knew he was just trying to buy time. And time, well, it wasn't on his side anymore.
Did you have any doubts or any reason to believe that someone else could be the child's biological father at that time?
No.
So after the baby's born, Mr. Donaldson, do you develop a relationship with Anaya?
Yes, we did, but she stayed so far away from me to like I couldn't see her as much as I wanted to.
As more secrets came out and emotions ran higher, the judge had no choice but to step in and restore some order. But even the judge was getting a little frustrated at how long this was dragging on. Everyone was ready for the truth, but it seemed like no one could keep their story straight.
And your family has accepted the baby?
Yes, we accept her. But when all of this started, we kind of just backed away from the whole situation because it was getting a little messy.
So at what point do you start having doubts that Anaya is your grandchild?
The thing that really changed my mind is when my mother went to pick the baby up and saw Fred.
Finally, the moment came. Ms. Harris, now visibly distraught, was pushed to the edge. As the courtroom awaited the truth, she couldn't hold it together any longer. She ran out, barely able to keep her composure, screaming at the cameras to stop rolling. Everyone was left speechless. The tension was unbearable, and the drama was far from over.
Why do you believe you could be the biological father of this child?
One day I was on Facebook and I got a message from Jalen, and he told me that the baby could possibly be mine.
So you get a message from Mr. Donaldson?
Yeah.
Telling you that the baby could possibly be yours?
Yeah, I need to get a DNA test.
Ms. Harris, still nowhere to be seen, had essentially left the courtroom in a cloud of confusion. With no clear answers in sight, the judge made one last attempt to bring some clarity. She asked everyone to take a breath and reconsider the facts. Would anyone back down? Would the truth finally come out?
Having a relationship with Mr. Donaldson.
Because during that time, he used protection. And from the time that he's talking about he could be her father is from a time in December.
Oh, you're saying the time that you had sex without protection was in December?
Yes.
But then, another bombshell dropped. An unexpected piece of evidence came to light, and it shifted the entire narrative of the case. Just when the courtroom thought they were getting closer to the truth, a new angle emerged, leaving everyone in a state of disbelief. How much more could these people handle?
Anaya was born on October 21st.
Yes.
Do you remember when you were intimate with Mr. Donaldson?
The beginning of January, the beginning of February, and the end of February, and then we stopped.
So the beginning of January, around here, the beginning of February with Mr. Donaldson?
Yes.
With the case now becoming a full-on mess of emotions and half-truths, the judge decided it was time for a break, but the drama didn't stop there. Mr. Murray and Mr. Donaldson's rivalry was only escalating, and the courtroom was on high alert, ready for the next shock to drop.
When were you intimate with Mr. Murray?
It was like in the middle of February, but he used protection.
So you were intimate with Mr. Murray around this time, but you say you used protection. But Mr. Murray, you say you did not use protection.
We had a situation December 14th.
As the courtroom continued to buzz with frustration, the judge had to remind everyone that this wasn't just a battle of feelings. It was about responsibility and accountability. Finally, with everyone feeling like they'd been through a war, the truth was called for. Who was the father? The clock was ticking and the pressure was mounting. Everyone was on edge, waiting for that final answer.
Wait, that's December. And you didn't use protection during that? I don't know what y'all out here doing. We know young people and we know you're gonna be young, but this is a lot. This is too much. The threesome's bad enough. Unprotected is just outrageous, insane, unacceptable.
With the case nearing its end, Ms. Harris came back into the courtroom, tears still fresh on her face. She looked like she had just been through the emotional ringer. The tension in the room was thick, and all eyes were on the judge, waiting for her to make the call. The truth was coming, and it was going to hit hard.
Threesomes, unprotected, and also potentially getting Ms. Harris pregnant. Did you have any idea what was going on?
I found out after the threesome happened.
After the threesome?
Yes. And then like around, I want to say March or April, we found out that Chastity was pregnant.
The judge, feeling the weight of the situation, made her final decision, and the entire room fell silent. Everyone had been on edge, but now the time had come to wrap things up. Was it Mr. Murray? Was it Mr. Donaldson? Who would be the father? Everyone was holding their breath.
So you told Ms. Weaver that the baby was not Mr. Murray's. You told her that?
Yeah.
That was because of the date of conception that the doctor told her.
So you were basing that off what the doctor told you?
Yes.
But now you all know that even with protection, we know that it's not 100% certain.
After what felt like an eternity, the moment arrived. The judge's ruling was final, and the courtroom reacted with a mixture of relief and disbelief. The case that started with a simple paternity test had turned into something much more complex, but now it was over. For Ms. Harris, the battle might have been won, but the war was just beginning.
So now Anaya's 18 months old. Who's in her life as father? Who does she bond with as father?
Mr. Murray.
Mr. Murray.
She looks to him like he's her father because he's been there. He's been there ever since she was 3 months.
And so what was it that made you decide to be a part of the baby's life, Mr. Murray?
The judge gave some final words, offering advice, and sending everyone off with a reminder that this was about more than just DNA. It was about being responsible and taking ownership of your actions. It might have been a long and messy road, but at least now the truth had been revealed.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Gerald Donaldson, you are not the father. Mr. Murray, you are not the father.
Y'all, this case had everyone in the courtroom on the edge of their seats. Ms. Andrea Wallace walked in, dragging her ex-husband, Mr. Ryan Wallace, and his new wife into the mix, all to prove he's the father of their 2-year-old daughter, Araylon. Ms. Wallace is over it. She says Mr. Wallace has been too busy with his new family to even check in on his daughter, and today, she's ready to put an end to his lack of effort.
Ms. Wallace, you summoned your ex-husband and his new wife to court to prove he fathered your 2-year-old daughter, Araylon. You say he is too busy playing daddy to his new family and has neglected your daughter for far too long, and that ends today. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
But Mr. Wallace, he's out here claiming that Ms. Wallace isn't exactly blameless either. He's basically calling her out for losing track of her own actions during their marriage. He says he's cool with taking care of his kids, but he's got serious doubts about whether Araylon's even his. Ms. Wallace is furious, feeling like his new wife has him second-guessing their past, and worse, their own kid's truth.
Mr. Wallace, did you abandon your family?
No, Your Honor.
Tell the truth.
We separated after so many years. We separated. She was doing her thing and I was doing my thing, and it was just a spur of a moment.
So why, if that's the case, why treat our daughters different?
As the judge tries to break it all down, Ms. Wallace starts reminiscing about when she told Mr. Wallace she was pregnant. She says if he had really shown up as a husband, they wouldn't be in this mess. Mr. Wallace isn't having it, though he says their separation led them both to move on and do their own thing. The judge presses them for the details about their relationship and how Araylon was conceived.
Actually, you got back from the sun, the moon, and the stars. You went, came back. How long after that did you find out you were pregnant?
I felt it immediately, but 3 weeks later.
Up there at the sun?
I felt it as soon as I got back down. I woke up and came back to reality.
When Ms. Wallace talks about that night, she insists there was a deep, intimate connection that made her sure Mr. Wallace was the father. She says they reconnected after some time apart and that the chemistry was undeniable, but Mr. Wallace is struggling to remember the night in question, leaving room for doubt to creep in.
All I said was, people say that because we so dark, she shouldn't have been light at all.
You know, it doesn't have anything to do with like light and dark and brown. I mean, we sit up in here and hear too much testimony about what color a baby's skin was. It's about the DNA. That's what it's about.
The judge asked Ms. Wallace when she realized she was pregnant. She confidently says she just knew right after their encounter. But when the judge turns to Mr. Wallace to hear how he reacted when he first heard about the pregnancy, he reveals he was cool with it at first. However, when Ms. Wallace later mentioned the possibility of another man being involved after he signed the birth certificate, things got complicated.
Definitely reason that someone may have some doubt.
I mean, he could have had some doubt if that's how he felt, but he should have voiced that opinion, though. He should have said, hey, Ray, you know, I ain't been home in months. You know, I got this girlfriend out here and I ain't been home in months. Are you sleeping with anybody? Or he already knew what I was doing, though.
Tensions flare as the judge digs deeper, questioning whether Ms. Wallace was unfaithful during that time. She holds firm, saying she didn't have unprotected sex with anyone else, still fully convinced that Mr. Wallace is Araylon's dad. But Mr. Wallace, not buying it, recalls hearing later that he might not be the one, and now we're back to square one with more questions than answers.
We talking about real eyebrows.
Okay, let me look through my court papers. Oh, and you even submitted a chart to the court. I see it now. How in the world did I skip over the eyebrow chart? Let's get to it. So, Mr. Wallace, you submitted this chart to the court because you say all of your children have a distinct feature.
Yes.
Now the real drama begins. Ms. Wallace points out that Araylon has light skin, which has led to more confusion over paternity. The judge steps in to drop some truth. Skin color does not dictate paternity. It's all about the DNA, people. This part of the case brings out a whole new layer of emotional stress as both parents struggle with what's at stake here.
Said, no, that ain't my baby. I asked him, what we gonna do? Well, let me know when you go to the doctors. Let me know this, let me know that. Like I said, he was there. He took off work, he was there.
All right. So what I do understand is you are very clear on that. Mr. Wallace didn't doubt you.
The judge focuses on the timeline of conception. Ms. Wallace sticks to her story, saying their encounter lines up perfectly with the time she thinks she conceived. To back it up, the judge pulls out a conception calculator to show that the dates match what Ms. Wallace has been saying all along. It's looking like she's been telling the truth, or has she?
So you are really doubtful about this baby, and you're reinforcing this doubt in your husband. And you're also telling her she doesn't have to call and ask for different things. But if she doesn't have them and the baby needs them,
I automatically sense it.
How?
I automatically sense it.
Just when you think the plot can't thicken, Ms. Wallace admits she did sleep with someone else shortly before being with Mr. Wallace. The judge, of course, points out how that little tidbit just threw a wrench into their whole case. Both parents are now left with the emotional weight of not knowing and trying to figure out how to handle all these revelations.
My baby 2 years old, he didn't even call my baby on her birthday. Yeah, I don't celebrate, but so what? Call her.
I called. I respected you because I knew it.
It ain't no respect to it.
Did
Can
I call
say
her?
this? If it's about the baby, why they worried about me?
We video call her.
At the end of the day, I only call him when I want something.
As the episode winds down, both Ms. Wallace and Mr. Wallace agree to take a DNA test to finally settle the matter once and for all. Ms. Wallace is holding on to hope that the test will confirm Mr. Wallace is Araylon's father, while Mr. Wallace is left wrestling with the possibility that things might not turn out the way he expects. The judge ends by reminding them that no matter what happens with the results, their priority should be staying committed to their daughter and finding a way to work together for her sake.
Mr. Wallace, you are not the father.